was, but the teammate to him, Jeffrey Herlings, was third. Tommy Searle was fourth. Jeremy Van Horbeek with his best qualifying of the season. He was in fifth ahead of Arnold Toner, Zach Osborne, Valentin Tellier back from injury, and Christophe Charlier and Jake Nichols. They were your top 10. You see them on the screen. And while you look at those, Nikolai Larsen, who's not been with us for a while, he's back, and he qualified in 17th position, so good to have the Dane riding here this weekend on the KTM. Evan Havey as well, the Norwegian, and Philip Bengtsson, who rode in the MX2 European Championship race last week in Spain, or 2 weeks ago. He's having a wild card ride here, and well, he's going to find it very, very tough. Alex Eriksson as well, qualified in 30th, and the Swedes are going to find it very, very difficult, even though they're on home soil. The 5-second board turns, and Ken Roczen nearest our camera there. Number 94, the new championship leader, has got Gauthier Paulin alongside him. And it's Roczen who gets a good jump, comes straight across the front of Gauthier Paulin on that Monster Energy Yamaha. And Paulin holds a nice tight line. One of the Pro Circuit Kawasaki's gets caught there, and that is that one of our wild cards?
Michael Teka.
Yeah, no, Golovkin, the Russian rider.
Sorry.
So, yeah, them 300s and 388s look very, very similar on the bike. But coming up the hill, it was definitely Ken Roczen and Gauthier Paulin. Gauthier Paulin needed a good start here. And just like Tommy Searle, well, we've got either a cigarette or a bike gone bang in the corner, but I think it was the former. But Gauthier Paulin was saying that he needs a good start. So too. Oh, and who's that gone down?
That's Osborne.
So Osborne goes down and forces Lieber around the outside, number 33. So Osborne, there's all kinds of riders going down. Zanoni, 777. We had a big rain shower during the European MX2 125 race a little earlier on in the day, after rain in the evening, and the circuit very, very slippery, very slick through there. Zach Osborne, well, he was up there inside the top 10, and he'll be kicking himself now because he's all the way at the back of the field, and his, well, rivals in the championship, Ken Roczen, Gauthier Paulin, and Jeffrey Herlings, they're starting to get away here. Max Anstey's in fourth at the moment. Tony Boutron down in fifth place. Nick Treese, Jake Nichols in 7th, Jean Rouland's 8th, Michael Lieb on the Ritchie Racing Husqvarna, he is in 9th place, and then Jeremy Van Horbeek back from injury as well, a shoulder problem he had, it fell out of socket, didn't crash, and that was at a Belgian Championship race, but he's back here this weekend, and so far he's been on the pace, so he will be more than happy with 10th place. Nick Oban is 11th, Ludwig Soderberg, Mathis Caro, Valentin Tellier is 14th, ahead of Lenoir, Tommy Searle down in 16th position, so the rider on the CLS Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki, who's third in the championship, way, way down the order, and he's got a lot of time to make up as well on our leaders. In fact, we'll give you the exact amount of time in just a moment. The crowd out on the hillside there, they've got the benefit of having a big screen to watch all of the action on. As the riders come through, it's Roczen, he's 1.2 seconds clear. Nikolai Larsen, our onboard camera, he's about to come over the line. The shiny parts on the particular circuit there, not necessarily slippery, it's just where the machine's been working on the circuit just to get rid of those ruts on the takeoff. But we've got Roczen from Paulin, Herlings, Anstey, Boutron, Nichols in 6th, Treese 7, Rouland's 8th. Then we've got Van Horbeek, then Lieb, then Oban, Caro, 11 seconds down, Tommy Searle in 13th position. You've ridden here a few times, Ricard. The circuit very hard underneath, and the rain has caused one or two problems on this circuit, hasn't it?
Yeah, you know, it's always when you have a hard pack, and yesterday was dry, so the lines are pretty fast, and then when the rain starts to fall down, it's going to be slippery, and that's normal.
Van Horbeek and I think that was Nick Treese, wasn't it, battling together. Yeah. So the 5.9, Tommy Searle's gone down.
Whoa.
So third place in the championship, Tommy Searle. He was already 27 points down on Jeffrey Herlings, 33 down on Ken Roczen, and he's got like a big post in that rear wheel that gets going. So just trying to see where that was. Okay, just in the dip before the left, before the double. So a couple 3 corners after the start line area. So Tommy Searle now, he goes from that 13th position, maybe got tangled with another rider, who knows, but certainly as the sun comes out here in Sweden, the sun's shining on Ken Roczen because he's the one that has the early advantage. Gauthier Paulin, as Gauthier Paulin's gone to the front. We just saw Ken Roczen go through. Gauthier Paulin was only 1.2 seconds down. There's Herlings, Van Horbeek, sorry. He is in 9th position. Ken Roczen, no. So we've, oh no, Paulin was there. So 1.7 seconds down. So we've got Roczen then, fastest man on track, 150.9. Then we've got Paulin, Herlings now 3rd, Anstey 4th, Nichols 5th, Van Horbeek is 6th. Here we are on board. Michael Lieb number 170, got off to a good start on that Ritchie Racing Husqvarna. Valentin Tellier there just off to the left, number 37. One or two problems down here. There's Arnold Tonas. And then our onboard camera.
That's our Swedish rider.
Yeah.
Philip Bengtsson.
So Bengtsson all the way down at the back of the grid then. And Harry Kulas, I think, just got caught going through there. And this was Osborne. Just got it wrong. And then there's no traction through there at that point. Caught a tough block on the way down. And what was it, about 5th position? Yeah. So very, very costly for Zach Osborne. Michael Lieb, you just saw him tiptoeing through there. That was Lieber going around there, number 33. Almost reconnecting. Then Suyong Zanoni on the factory Honda, the Brazilian. Then look at that, just to add salt to the injury, Zach Osborne stalling that bike. This is Tommy Searle going down. Oh, very lucky. That was a big fall for Tommy Searle.
It's lucky he didn't injure himself there.
Big time, because the bike came down on him as well there, didn't it? He got off the side of it, and well, Tommy Searle will keep an eye on his progress as this race goes on. But at the moment, Tommy Searle is down in 34th position. So not good in terms of points in the championship. Alex Eriksson just behind him there, number 71 in 35th. We've got Tixier just outside the points in 21st place. Lupino in 28th. Jordan Booker just behind him. Harry Kulas, look, 26 as well. He would have been wanting better things from this race. Up front though, Ken Roczen completes another lap. That's 2 complete now. Another fastest lap of the race for him, 150.6. This kid is just showing us what a great talent he is, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's riding good. You can see he's not so old, and he has so much talent, and it looks easy when he's riding. So, and he's so fast. You can see he's doing things that nobody else does, especially his scrubs. I see Paulin is scrubbing now as well, but
Gauthier Paulin was so fast through this wave section yesterday. Yeah. He just picks the front wheel up just before the first one and then just manuals his way through, but he's doubling through there today. The track obviously changing quite a lot, more ruts and bumps on the face there. I'm joined by Rickard Sandberg, the Sturm Racing Kawasaki rider from MX1. Just in case you're wondering who the voice is alongside me, he's been injured for the most part of the season and not going to be joining the action anytime soon, but he's going to be here just lending his eye on this MX2 race. It's Ken Roczen though who leads with Paulin second, Herlings third. So still 28 minutes plus 2 laps remain. Jeffrey Herlings, who led the championship up until Spain 2 weekends ago, finds himself just 6 points behind his teammate Ken Roczen on that Red Bull Teka factory KTM. And he's third in the race at the moment behind Gauthier Paulin's Monster Energy Yamaha. We saw Max Anstey there. Didn't ride too good yesterday. Did you have a chance to speak to him or not?
No, I didn't, but I saw I think he had a bad start or something. He was down in 14.
Yeah, qualified in 14th position, but didn't really make too much progress, did he? Because he started in 17th and only got up to 14th, so wasn't a good day. I spoke to him this morning and he said he was just riding a little bit stiff, but hopefully the morning warm-up session would have been okay for him. That's Jake Nichols, the front rider in shot. He's in 5th position on the HM Plant Red Bull KTM, number 45. And he's got Jeremy Van Horbeek just behind him on the 3rd of those factory KTMs, as they come over the line to complete what would be their 3rd lap. Jake Nichols, of course, missed the first 4 rounds of the championship. He's now pulled himself up to 18th with 3 11ths, a couple of 13ths and a 14th over all of the motos. So picking up good points along the way, 53 in actual fact, in that short space of 3 Grand Prix. So that's not bad going for Jake Nichols. How was, Rickard, how were things going on the MX1 machine for you? Because you rode MX1 last year as well.
Yeah, last year was my first year in MX1, and before I always been on MX2, but I like it. It's strong, but you have to train hard to have the control of the bike, but that's how it is.
Nikolai Larsen almost going down there as he follows Mike Krass in 19th place. And Osborne already up, actually past Mike Krass, so Krass now in 19th, 20th, sorry, Osborne 19th, Tixier in the points in 18th, just behind Petr Petrov. Ludwig Soderberg as well. What do we know about Ludwig Soderberg? Not so much, just thought with you being Scandinavian, you might know a little bit more. Yeah,
actually I haven't heard so much about him, because Finland and Sweden, we don't really have so much contact with each other. He's still a Scandinavian rider, but he's a good rider. It's good.
Yeah, and Soderberg down in 28th in the championship at the moment, just 16 points. But yeah, still in the points there in 16th position.
It's Alex Eriksson, the Swedish rider.
So He switched from Suzuki last year, or was it 2 years ago he was on Suzuki, I think? Or has he always been on KTM? Yeah. But no problems for Ken Roczen at the moment, not like we saw in Saint-Jean and Portugal, at least. But he's had a week off just to recoup from all of those injuries that he picked up from those 2 crashes that were back-to-back, of course. And he managed to get through Spain 2 weeks ago at La Bagneta and regain that championship lead, red plate. And you can see the front number plate on the front of that orange KTM is red. That signifies the fact that he is our championship leader. And he's looking to increase that gap further because his teammate, Jeffrey Herlings, is in 3rd position, so the gap will go out to another 5 points. But Gauthier Paulin has been so consistent there, number 21 on the Monster Energy Yamaha, 3rd overall in Brazil and France, 2nd in Portugal, 3rd overall in Spain. So the 3-time Grand Prix winner, Gauthier Paulin, is putting himself in a good position here in the early stages of this first race to maybe even think about going after an overall victory in the second one. Of course, we've still got a long way to go, a lot of laps to be raced, but he's certainly in a good position, isn't he?
Yeah, he's for sure in a good position. He's riding good. And I also watched yesterday about how the rest has been for him before in Uddevalla, and I think he's been on podium every time, I think.
Yeah, he's been pretty good. Well, apart from 13th in Glen Helen and the 5th in Valkenswaard, but other than that, yeah, he's been... oh, and also the opening round in Bulgaria, 4th there, 5th in Valkenswaard, 13th in Glen Helen, and then on the podium every time since. And even with the races as well, 2 thirds in Brazil, a 2nd and a 4th in Saint-Jean, a 5th and a 3rd in Portugal, and 4th and 3rd in Spain. So he's been consistent, but unfortunately for him, the KTMs and the Kawasaki of Tommy Searle have been just that little bit more dominant than him. Tommy Searle, meanwhile, still not in the top 20. And he is clawing his way back up slowly, though. He's in 24th position. He's 52 seconds down on our race leader, Ken Roczen, after having quite a big crash on the 2nd lap of this moto. Didn't make a good start. He was only in around about 15th position at that point anyway. There's Valentin Tellier on the Suzuki Europe MX2 bike. And basically, Valentin Tellier had a shoulder injury at the beginning of the season, and he's back here this weekend after crashing in Bulgaria, actually, at the opening round. And he had a good qualifying race yesterday to Tellier. Qualified in 8th. Tixier's down. He was in about 18th position because we saw Nick Larson, our onboard camera, was behind him a couple of laps ago. So that will be costly for him. Nicolas Aubin down there. Where is he? 131. He's not even in the points either, Nick Aubin. So we've got some good runners here. Sorry, wrong page. Nicolas Aubin in 11th position, I beg your pardon, but Roczen has a 5.4 second advantage. Herlings is 3rd, Anstey 4th. Jake Nichols still hanging on to a brilliant 5th position for him. Nick Treese just going through. Number 17, Tony Boutron and Nicolas Aubin. So, Aubin up the inside. But Aubin not quite able to find a way through. He's going to try and slingshot off the berm here, though. Get some traction early over this new double jump they put in. And Boutron there, number 17, he is in 10th. Aubin jumps around the outside. He's in 11th position at the moment. And just behind them, coming into view, that's Charlier in 12th place. Jean Rouland's on in the Star and Gem Racing. This time gets it done, though, does Nicolas Aubin. Michael Lieb in the points in 14th. Mattis Caro on the MVRD Route 77 Honda. He's down in 15th. Osborne up into 16th, ahead of Petrov, Larson, Lupino, and Soderberg. We've still got a long way to go in this race, but it's going to... Richard Sandberg, it's going to take something special, isn't it, to try and... is that Tommy Searle down there?
I think so.
Look like Tommy Searle just off track. Trying to start that bike. Yeah, Tommy Searle, 33rd. He's been down there a couple of laps, so Tommy Searle, no points for him in this first race. It's going to take something special, isn't it, from Gauthier Paulin and Jeffrey Herlings to close down that 6-second gap that Ken Roczen just looks so in control.
Yeah, you saw the last lap. He was 1 second faster almost. So he's still running on 150 in the lap times, and the other guys are riding 151. So he's pulling away.
And making it look so easy as well. Every circuit that we go to, really. Oh, Aubin just down the inside of Nick Treese. I mean, in terms of his qualifying races and performances, Ken Roczen has been absolutely dominant, just only finishing second to his teammate in Holland and winning the other 7 races. But of course, you don't get points for those qualifying races. Aubin up the inside of Treese, though. Oh, and Charlier goes through as well, uses a few elbows, and Triest, the Belgian, goes down. So Nick Triest then goes from 9th position because Oban and Charlier go flying through, and that was Michael Lieb just going through in 14th. So Lieb will now be 13th. Nick Triest will now get up in 14th position. So not good then for Nick Triest, who's having not too bad a championship season actually. 16th overall, scored in the last 6 motos. Didn't go to the US and Brazil. Just watch this. Charlier comes down the inside. Triest obviously didn't know he was there. He thought about going back at the inside of Nikolai Oban. Did Nick Triest, who just crashed there. But unfortunately for him, Charlier was just a little bit too close. And the two bang bars and elbows, and it was the Belgian who came off worst. Kept his hand on the clutch though, and got away no problem. But Ken Roczen just making it look so easy. Don't know what Tommy Searle's problem was. I wonder if there was a problem with the bike when he made that crash on the opening or the second lap. And obviously that's been a little bit, maybe that's the reason why that he was over on that far side just trying to start it up. Been down there a couple of laps, so as we said a moment ago, not good for Tommy Searle. Unlike this guy here, Ken Roczen, our championship leader. 9 moto wins already in 2011. Yet he only has a 6-point advantage over his teammate. Of course, the reason for that is that DNF at Portugal, where he was leading the race. So looking to rebuild that points gap with each moto. He knows that the maximum points you can take is 25, and if your teammate keeps finishing behind you, then that's only going to be 3 points. In terms of, who's that going down? Oh, is that Zanoni again?
No, that was the crash from Teka.
Ah, okay. So just jumping short. Actually, not many riders getting over that tabletop, really, are there? There's Tommy Searle just going through. Yeah. And then obviously we lost Tommy Searle in the next corner just after that. So
no, we are here again at the new tabletop. They changed it, the face, they made it a little bit, they made the tabletop a little bit longer, and the takeoff is a little bit shorter than the landing, so they changed the jump.
And the riders who want to make the inside aren't getting over it, are they? They're having to jump short onto the top, and it looked like Tixier was just caught between... Oh, Tixier's gone again through the wave section. That was from 2 laps ago.
Unlucky for him.
So really unlucky for him. So and the Star JM Racing KTM rider, well and truly out of the points. Joel Roulant, on the other hand, his teammate, only in 12th position, suffering with his starts. And we've seen in both MX2 and MX1, haven't we, that the start is the most important part this season in particular. Yeah,
I mean, the lifetimes are so tight this year, and if you have a good start, it's so much easier because almost all the riders are the same speed. So for sure it's hard, it's tough.
Well, Jeffrey Herlings, he continues to push on with just under 18 minutes plus 2 laps to go. He's in 3rd. He's about 7 seconds down on Gauthier Paulin, but our race leader by almost 7 seconds is Ken Roczen on the KTM. So, 17.5 minutes, of course. This is the time of the race where we're exclusively live on MX Live TV. No commercials on the internet. And my name's Paul Malin, still joined by Richard Sandberg, the MX1 rider for Stern Racing Kawasaki. Not riding this year, but he's up in the booth with us in this in his first MX2 race. Jeremy Van Hoorbeek had a difficult start to the season, finished 6th. I think he probably rode a little bit nervous in Bulgaria, but then picked up an injury, dislocated his shoulder. We're getting ready to go down to pit lane to talk to KTM. Let's hear what they have to say.
I'm here at pit lane with Red Bull Teka, KTM and Valentina. Jeremy Van Hoorbeek seems to be going really well. First race back, but his fitness is good. He's in 5th place.
Yeah, he's doing really good, and I think it's a big surprise for everybody because after such a long time, he's doing a result that probably not so many people expected, and we are very happy for that, and I guess in a couple of races he will be really there.
Excellent. Thank you, Valentina.
Yeah, Jeremy Van Hoorbeek probably just more relaxed now that the season's already started and he can't win the championship, so he can just go out and do his own thing.
Yeah, sometimes that takes the pressure off you. You are in a good team, and unfortunately you injured yourself, and then you just go out and ride and have fun.
Joel Roulant's coasting. He was in 14th position a couple of laps ago, but so both the Star JM Racing riders are out of this one, and even Rauchenecker nowhere to be seen either. So not a good day for the Jackie Martins team. Nikolai Larsson, though, who's been missing for quite a few Grand Prix, He is in the points at the moment in 17th. He's carrying our onboard camera.
He have a
15 3/4 minutes plus 2 laps remain here in this first MX2 race. It's round 8 of the FIM MX2 Motocross World Championship. We're at Uddevalla in Sweden, and Ken Roczen continues to lead the way. He's almost 7 seconds clear of Gauthier Paulin. Jeffrey Herlings is third, with Max Anstey on the Monster Energy CLS Pro Circuit Kawasaki having a good ride in 4th place ahead of Jeremy Van Hoorbeek, back from injury. And Van Hoorbeek, we were just watching him a moment ago, and he is only 3 seconds down, almost 4 seconds down on Max Anstey. So Rickard Sandberg, Max Anstey didn't have a good day yesterday, but he's making it pay today. And Van Hoorbeek, back from injury, having a fantastic ride in his first race back.
Yeah, Anstey had a really good start today, and yesterday he had a bad start, and you can see that the track is not so deep rut, so it's a little bit like one line. So if you have a good start, you can follow the top guys and you can be in a good position in the beginning, and then you just continue the speed. You can see it. And Van Hoorbeek, he's 5, and he also had a good start.
And Valentin Tellier as well. We're just looking at him, number 37 on the Suzuki Europe MX2 entry, and he's down there in 8th position, which is where he qualified pretty much yesterday, and having a good ride as well. So Thomas Ramsbacher and the boys, Jens Johansson, they'll all be more than pleased with the performance that he's putting in so far. They said that last week in a German championship race, he was maybe just trying a little bit too hard, a little bit aggressive, but I think he's calmed that down a little bit this weekend just to get some points on the board and gain some confidence, the former European champion. Did you ever race with him in Europeans?
Yeah, I did, 2008.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit friend of him, and when I injured myself, I was in Belgium, so I met him, and he's focused, that kid. He's a good guy. He's friendly, and he's really won a race, and he wants to do it good. So I'm happy for him. Really good that he's on 8th position now. I hope he can do it to the finish.
Well, just ahead of him on the bike it costs with Wildwolf Yamaha, number 7, the Swiss rider Arnold Toners, who sits in 6th position in the championship. Only 5 points behind his teammate, Zach Osborne. Well, that will change because Osborne down in 14th at the moment. So where Arnold Toners will pick up 14 points, Osborne will only pick up 7 points at the moment. If it was to stay like this, but still plenty of time to go. 13.5 minutes, of course. Zach Osborne, we're waiting for him to come over the line at the moment. Well, he comes over the line actually just ahead of Nick Treese, so he's past Nick Treese that time around. And the gap between Osborne and Michael Lieb, 4 seconds, and he's lapping 1 second a lap quicker that time around. In fact, Osborne putting his best lap of the race in that time around with a 1:54.0. So Zach Osborne, we saw him go down on the opening lap. Michael Lieb having the ride of his season so far on that Richie Husqvarna, that factory Husqvarna. He is in 12th position, and Tony Boutron having a good start to the season. He is in 11th with Nicolas Aubin in 10th. Christophe Charlier still 9th, Tellier 8th, Tonus is there in 7th, and Jake Nichols having a good ride as well on the HM Plant Red Bull KTM in 6th place. Just looking a bit further down, we've already lost Tommy Searle. Well, we lost him a couple of times actually, once on the second lap, and then he went missing, and he's 7 laps down, so he's retired. So Tommy Searle going to pick up no points. Neither too is Mathis Caro or Jordi Tixier, nor is Joel Roulant, because Joel Roulant, we just saw him coasting a couple of laps ago. And also Philip Bengtsson, the Swede wildcard, Jesper Jonsson, Alex Eriksson. So not much for the home fans to be cheering about this weekend, Rickard Sandberg.
Well, we do have still Nikolai Larsson on 16 now. He did 1 more, and he's many fans here because he's riding for a Swedish team this year. So it's good for him. He had to put the Scandinavian, the flags are for him, for the Scandinavian riders.
Has he been injured? Because the last 2 rounds, Portugal and Spain, he wasn't at. Has he been injured, or has he just not decided to go to the races? You know?
I don't know really. I haven't spoke with him about it, but we was missing him.
Yeah, France, Portugal and Spain. Obviously Brazil I can understand, but
he was riding in America.
Okay.
But not Brazil though.
So we've got 11 minutes, 20 seconds to go. We're looking at Alessandro Lupino, just announced yesterday in the Italian team for the Monster Energy Motocross of Nations, which of course will be on the 18th of September at Saint-Jean-d'Angely. His teammates are going to be Tony Cairoli and David Philipparts. Philipparts riding the open category, Cairoli riding in the MX1, and of course Alessandro Lupino on the Richie Husqvarna. He's going to be riding in the MX2 class, and Lupino down in 16th position at the moment. He's 14th in the championship, and again he scored in the last 5 motos, and he's only actually not scored in 2 races this year, so having a good time. Jake Nichols and Arnold Tonus squaring up to each other as they did 1 week ago at the British Championship round at Northern Ireland in Desert Martin, where Jake Nichols won the first moto to end Yamaha's 100% win record in motos. So Jake Nichols, recently back from injury, came back for the French Grand Prix. Obviously we can't say that anymore now, the recently back from injury, because that's already been 3 or 4 races. So, but good for him to get back to winning ways in the British Championship. Roger McGee here, the team manager, he'll be keeping a close eye on what he's doing this weekend, and he looks comfortable on the bike, but Tonus getting ready to go around the outside and goes by quite easily in the end. So Tonus now moves up in the 6th position, pushes Jake Nichols on that number 45, the orange KTM. He pushes him down into 7th place. Jake Nichols, not a bad kid, eh?
No, he's a nice guy. I was racing in England 2009, and he's a cool kid.
We're going down a pit lane now, actually. I think we've got Sami Hupia down there from Finland. He's a former Liverpool player and Champions League winner.
We're here in pit lane. I'm with Sami Hupia. You're formerly from a football background, but you're here at a motocross event. You're a big fan. How exciting is it for you?
Yeah, it's very exciting. All the noise and the boys are going so fast on the track, and it's incredible. That I've tried it a few times as well, so I know how hard it is, and these guys are just incredible.
From football to motocross, is it something you could have ever done?
No, I think I'm a bit too tall for motocross, so I made the right choice by choosing football.
Enjoy the race, though. Thank you.
I had dinner with him on Friday night, Sami Hupia, after the go-kart competition that we had, the Monster Energy Swedish Grand Prix, out on the go-kart track round the back, which David Philipparts won from Tommy Searle. And he actually puts in a lot of support to Harry Kulas, being a fellow Finnish rider, from Finland anyway. And he likes Harry, he's got a lot of time for him, keeps in contact with the likes of Mika Kallio as well in the Road Race World Championship. And good to see him putting his support into riders like Harry, and you know, keeping an eye out on his fellow Finnish sports people. But a nice guy, got a lot of time for him, and it was good to sit down and discuss things. As you mentioned there, he rides a little bit. He's got a 350 KTM now, just got rid of the 250F, but enjoys his riding, and he's retired now. Was playing for Leverkusen, and he's retired. He retired in May, so he's looking at doing a coaching role. And yeah, all the best to Sami. Good to see him here, and who knows, maybe in the future he'll run a team on his own, but that'll be good to see, wouldn't it? Because we have Kimi Räikkönen running the Ice One racing team, which Santtu Tiainen is already riding in.
Yeah, it's cool that they put an effort in motocross. It's good for the sport, and I believe motocross is a cool sport for the fans to watch, because it's always something that you can look at. Even in the back you have a good fighting. So it's a good sport.
And I suppose in terms of finance, we've got, when you look at Räikkönen, you know, putting his money in, he comes from Formula One. The money that you need to go to Formula One and MotoGP, he still gets his kick out of you know, watching high energy racing and that kind of thing. You certainly get that with FIM MX1 MX2 Motocross World Championship. And if you're going to put your money into a team, then probably this is the best place to start, because by comparison, not as expensive as MotoGP or Formula One, is it?
Oh, no. We're not even close to Formula One.
But you know, good to see that our sport is evolving all the time as well. We have these new 2-story pit lanes. The guys are turning up in big rigs. We've got great hospitality trucks as well with the teams that travel week in, week out. They have more personnel now working in the teams, and it's getting bigger and better all the time, and more professional. And you probably see that as well.
Yeah, I remember for 10 years ago when I was a kid and I was watching the GP, and it's a big difference compared to now. It looks good.
Well, Gauthier Paulin on the Monster Energy Yamaha He has completed 14 laps, as have the first 4 riders, which takes us down to Max Anstey and now Jeremy Van Hoorbeek. But he's 11.1 seconds down. So the good start that he had in second position behind Ken Roczen hasn't really materialised into what would be a challenge for that top step, that #1 position, those 25 points in his first moto. There's Jeffrey Herlings on the Red Bull Teka factory KTM. Number 84, he's down in 3rd position. He's quite a good way ahead of Max Anstey, to be fair. And Van Hoorbeek is 5th. Tonus is now in 6th position. We saw him pass Jake Nichols a couple of laps ago. Charlier 8th. Valentin Tellier now dropping down to 9th. Maybe getting a little bit tired, but he's got about 7 seconds before he comes under attack from Nicolas Aubin. Can't see that happening with just under 6 minutes and 2 laps to go. Michael Lieb up to 11th position now. There's Boutron. Didn't finish in the second race in Spain at his home Grand Prix. Doesn't look like he's been off the bike either, does it?
So it looks like a bike problem.
So he's not going to be too happy with that, as he takes his helmet off and contemplates what he's going to do for the second moto. Zach Osborne, he's still chasing Michael Lieb. He's only about a second down on him there in 11th and 12th, with the American Michael Lieb just ahead of his fellow countryman Zach Osborne in 12th. Alex Lupino is 13th. Peter Petrov is 14th on the Van Beers Yamaha, as we look at Max Anstey on the CLS Pro Circuit Monster Energy Kawasaki. But it's still Ken Roczen who leads away from Gauthier Paulin. Max Anstey, number 99, on that Monster Energy CLS Pro Circuit Kawasaki, putting himself in a good frame of mind for what will be the second race in a couple of hours' time, because he's got a good start, as you said, Rickard Sundberg from Sturm Racing, normally riding in MX1, not injured, of course, but Max Anstey, he's just shown, hasn't he, how good a start, or how important a good start is.
Yeah, especially when you are a top rider, you need to be there in the start, so you do the four first laps like wide open. You don't have so much people in front of you, so you can stay with the other guys. You see that from yesterday when he was qualifying, he did a bad start and he was 14, and now he did a good start and he's 4. For sure he have the same speed, but you need to be there in the beginning. But
the track is a little bit different today, isn't it? It looks a little bit bumpier in some places. We've had rain through the night, we've had rain most of the morning, and you know, the riders are having to choose different lines. Jeremy Van Hoorbeek, though, he's closing in fast on Max Anstey. This is going to be the battle for 4th position in maybe 1 or 2 laps' time. And Jeremy Van Hoorbeek, well, he'll think that he can go after Max Anstey. Of course, riding the bike that he was riding for last year, or the team that he was riding for last year, of course. But Jeremy Van Hoorbeek, who has been missing since Bulgaria. And, well, he scored 6th overall there, 6th and a 5th. He qualified 6th, 31 points he picked up. So if you average 30, 31 points per Grand Prix, you're not doing too badly. But here he is. He's going to take another load of points back. It could be 18 for 4th position, or it could be 16 for that 5th position that he currently sits in at the moment. And the gap was last time, well, 2.5 seconds. And we'll see as they get the wide shot coming up through the wave section here, probably slightly less than 2.5 seconds. So Van Hoorbeek on the charge in the closing stages of this first FIM MX2 motocross race here at Uddevalla in Sweden. His teammates, both of them, are ahead of him in 3rd position with Jeffrey Herlings and Ken Roczen, who is our race leader, has been since the first lap. That gap now 10.6 seconds. But just looking a little bit further down in the points, Mike Kras down in 18th, Nikolai Larsen in 17th, Harry Kulas in 16th. So Kulas went down on the second corner at the bottom of the hill. He's fought hard to get back to that 16th position, but spare a thought for Tommy Searle. 3rd place in the championship, down and out, no points in moto number 1. Well, Max Anstey on that Monster Energy CLS Pro Circuit Kawasaki currently sits there in 4th position. We're going down to talk to his team.
Here in pit lane with John Jack. As you can see, Max Anstey is currently 4th, so it's a great race for him so far.
Yes, we are very happy for Max, because he now his best moto since the beginning of the years. It's coming up race after race, and we're very happy about his result.
And just quickly, could you give us an update on Tommy Searle?
Tommy Searle had 2 crashes, no problem with him, but in the second crash the bike had a problem when he crashed, and we have to take the bike, go to the truck to check, but I don't know exactly what it is, but it's just after the crash.
Okay, thank you, John Jack. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, good to see that Tommy Searle is okay then, but fortunately for him, Gauthier Paulin was already, 35 points behind him, so he's not going to lose that third position in the championship. But when he arrived here, 27 points behind Herlings and 33 behind Roczen, well, he's going to be, 58 points down now on our championship leader. So he lost big points in Portugal when he crashed in that first moto, got caught up in all that green fencing. And, surely now, I know we've still got a long ways to go. We're only halfway in the series, Rickard Sandberg. But you've got to think now, Tommy Searle's World Championship might just be over in terms of going for that World Championship.
Yeah, you never know what's happened. Like you said, it's many races and many laps still needs to be done. But if you continue with DNFs, it's not so good for the overall championship. And Roczen is doing good. He's like 1 or 2 every race, except the DNF he had, but that was because of a crash. So it will be hard to beat Roczen. If he doesn't crash, it will be hard to beat him.
Well, we're following number 45 there, Jake Nichols, just momentarily, and he's been overtaken by that kid there, number 430, the 2009 European MX2 champion, Christophe Charlier, on that Monster Energy Yamaha, riding out of the Giacomo Garibaldi garage, if you like, and he's now into 7th position. Yeah, he's got a bit of a gap between him and Arnold Tonis, but Jake Nichols, though, as we said, just mentioned him a moment ago, on that HM Plant KTM, down in 8th place. That'll be his first top 10 finish of the season. We just saw him in the background a moment ago. So about the length of that rebootizer wave section, the difference between Charlier, who's just found a way through in the last couple of laps or so, and Jake Nichols. Ken Roczen, though, well, a bit premature with that. Virtual GP winner, certainly race winner. Still got another moto to go, of course. But Ken Roczen, we're going to take the 2-lap board. And what a difference a year makes. Remember last year when he was challenging Frossard for the win in the first race, 2 or 3 laps to go. Just after the finish line jump came through there, the Suzuki expired on him. And here he is, just putting all that behind him and getting on with it.
Yeah, that's how it is. It's a mechanical sport as well, so if the bike breaks, you have to don't think about it. Try to do a good race the second race. Like Roczen is doing now, he's doing so good. He was in the top in a whole shot, and he just rode his race, and he pulled away this 13 seconds gap now.
Almost lapping up to Harry Koulas as well. Harry Koulas, who just went out of sight a moment ago, he's in 17th position. So Harry Koulas, he'll want better things in the second race, that's for sure. But Gauthier Paulin, though, good ride for him. He's 13 seconds down, though, even at this stage of the race. Ken Roczen's time, 151.9. Gauthier Paulin, 154.6. So that's the difference, even at this stage of the race. A mistake there as well from Gauthier Paulin. Herlings is about 14 seconds down, or thereabouts, 15 seconds down. He's in 3rd position, as well clear of Max Anstey. But we were looking a couple of laps ago, that battle between Max Anstey, number 99, and Jeremy Van Hoorbeek, number 89. Looks like Max Anstey has that under control at the moment, the gap about 2 seconds. So that'd be good if Max Anstey can hang on for 4th position, because didn't start in Spain after a big crash in qualification 2 weekends ago at the previous round, round 7. He went out in the first race, didn't score, didn't even start the second race. So Max Anstey will be bouncing right back here with a brilliant 4th position in this first race, if that's the case. He's still got about a lap and a half to go, though. And there is Jeremy Van Hoorbeek just at the bottom of the hill there. Number 89. There's Max Anstey on the face of the jump. We've got a back marker in there in between these guys. Looks like Roczen, former European 125 rider from last year. And, well, Roczen way down the order in 21st position. So just on the edge of the points. But this gap coming down all the time between Max Anstey, number 99, and the 89 in the orange, who we'll see in a moment, Jeremy Van Hoorbeek. So they're going to go through and take the 1-lap board, as Roczen already around about a half a lap ahead.
We also have Osborne on 11th place now from the crash he did in the beginning, so he's been doing good.
So he's found a way past Michael Lieb, who drops to 13th position because his teammate Alessandro Lupino's gone through in 12th. So Michael Lieb would have been happy just to beat his teammate in this race, but Lupino getting the better of the American Michael Lieb. So the 2 factory Husqvarna Ritchie Racing riders down there in 12th and 13th position. But when you watch Michael Lieb walking around the paddock, you can see he knows he can do better. He wants to do better. But again, another rider who's had a few GPs missing out of, not racing, not being able to train a little bit. And I explained to him yesterday, I know it's frustrating, but at the same time, you just have to understand that these guys, they've been racing now competitively since April, certainly since March when he had his crash. And, they're on the top of their game, wherever they are in the championship battle, they're on the top of their game, and he has to come in the middle of that, having not raced. So he's finding it very, very difficult. Not like this guy, though, number 94, Ken Roczen. He takes the checkered flag and wins here, Moto number 1 in Sweden. Another 25 points on the board for the German as he gets pointed away to the winner's circle, so we can grab a quick word with him. Immediately after the race, Gauthier Paulin, we're waiting for him to come over the line on the Monster Energy Yamaha in second position. And there he is now, right on cue, number 21. Just a little bit more subdued. Wonders what he's got to do to keep ahead of this guy here, or maybe even mount a serious challenge. Third, we're waiting for Jeffrey Herlings to come over the line, teammate to Ken Roczen, who is all smiles at the moment, and he certainly needed that, and that will definitely lay to rest the demons from last year. So we had Herlings over the line, Anstey managed to hold on for 4th, and Van Hoorbeek managed to hold on for 5th position, or not quite get past Max Anstey for that 4th place. But Gauthier Paulin is quite happy with his 2nd position. But Tonus, we wait for him to come over the line. He does so now. He's in 6th. Christophe Charlier should be 7th with Jake Nichols, Nicolas Aubin and Valentin Tellier. A good fight back for him. He'll be happy with that 10th position, especially after coming back from injury at the beginning of the season. Nice big whips for Ken Roczen. He's not bad at them, is he?
Oh, he's good on that stuff. It's good for the fans.
Can you do whips?
I can, but not as big as Ken.
And a little bit harder on a big 450.
Yeah, it is.
What did you think to that motor?
It was good. That was great racing and fair racing, I believe. So, and also good for KTM 1, 3, and 5. And we have Yamaha there, and we have Kawasaki. So it's perfect. All the top bikes are there.
Do you wish you were riding?
Oh yeah, man. I wish I was there. There was so many friends and family are here and sponsors. I feel sorry to can't ride.
But I used to find when I used to do GPs, go back to a national championship, the atmosphere not quite the same and difficult to get motivated for a British Championship race. You did, of course, because that's what you got paid to do. But do you find that same situation as well when you ride? Do you ride in Sweden too much at the moment? Do you still do the national championship?
Yeah, I still did the Swedish Championship because I have help from everybody in Sweden, so I did it to thank them. And actually, I like it there. I have many friends and everything, so I never really had that problem for Sweden. But if I'm going to another country and trying to do these ones, then it's hard. But the GPs are the best.
Ken Roczen wins the first race here in Sweden. He does so quite comfortably in the end, 18 seconds ahead of Gauthier Paulin. Jeffrey Herlings, his teammate, was 3rd with Anstey 4th. Van Hoorbeek, Tonus Charlier and Jake Nichols, his first top 10 of the season, down there in 8th. Nick Aubin was 9th ahead of Valentin Tellier, back from injury in 10th. Zach Osborne fell on the first lap, got back to 11th ahead of Lupino, Lee, Petrov, Triest and Kulas, with Nick Larson, Mike Krass, Ivan Habe and Julian Lieber down in 20th. And a couple of Danes and Norwegians in there, a couple of Scandinavians, should I say. If you're wondering where Tommy Searle ended up, well, he had a couple of crashes. The first which we caught on camera, the second that we didn't. We spoke to his team manager, Jean-Jacques Lassetti, and there you see, 34th. He came out with, about